we'll bookend the show with Breuer, but this is indicative of how it works. The Jim Breuer Live, they control you. Daily and breaking news. Okay. And then it says, you're being brainwashed and nobody's talking about it. First of all, has any, like, how many 1984 references are we going to hear in this kind of shit? Everybody's talking about news brainwashing. Fucking the right wing can't stop about the news and schools and liberal media brainwashing everybody that apparently nobody but them can think for them fucking selves. Let's see. Okay, the news controls us more than we know.
You need to listen to me. I'm going to...
No, I don't think anybody does. I mean, even I would argue that that's how the news does it. Isn't if someone's telling you you need to listen to me, that sounds like media manipulation.
Do something here. The first thing you got to do
is raise your camera to match your like where you are in terms of height.
Is detach your emotions right now.
Believe me, they're detached. I have zero commitment to this.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
You're not a liberal.
What? Oh no. Where's my MAGA hat? Maybe Nick Fuentes was right and wrong.
You're not a conservative. You're not Republican. And you're not a Democrat. You're just a human being.
That's all you are. You can't categorize yourself based on generalities. That's why Jim's going to tell you you're not white, and man and woman are just labels, and so trans people can be whatever they want. You're being told by the media that the words have more meaning than your humanity. No, that's not where he's going with this. I've been tricked into thinking I'm a liberal by the media.
Watching something. I don't want you to focus on the news channel.
If I was focused on news at all, I wouldn't be watching this.
And I don't want you to focus on what's being said.
Okay. That's easy. Hold on one second. Let's see. Skip for now. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to do this one. Okay. Go ahead.
Dum, 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 dum.
Mm-hmm.
Dum, dum, stupid.
He said don't
Dumb,
focus
silly, stupid,
on what's
dumb,
being said.
dumb.
Don't focus on the words.
Dumb, dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb, dumb. Dopey, dippy, dumb, dumb. Stupid, really dumb. Moron!
Okay.
Dumb, dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb, dumb. Dopey, dippy, dumb, dumb. Stupid, really dumb.
Moron!
All right. Is that enough? Did we ignore enough of the words? Hold on. What was he saying?
To control you.
Okay. All right. Nope. I was right. There we go. Back to where we were.
Dumb, dumb, stupid.
All right.
Dumb, silly,
Because
stupid, dumb,
that's
dumb.
what
Dopey,
news
dippy, dumb,
is.
dumb.
Controls
Stupid, really dumb.
your
Moron!
emotions. It controls your
Dumb,
decisions.
dumb, stupid.
And it gets your
The other camera's not on.
ass
Dopey,
and
dippy,
your
dumb,
mind
dumb.
and your...
Stupid, really.
Hold on. Run that by me again. I was fucking around. I didn't hear the part where the news controls my ass.
emotions. It controls your decisions, and it gets your ass and your mind and your brain to just absorb and obsess.
Sorry. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I forgot. His ass is where his brain is. That makes sense. Okay. I was overlaying my own thoughts onto this.
Obsess.
Don't fucking shove that mic at me, boy.
This. You guys don't even know what I'm about to show you.
Yeah, probably. Let me guess. A TikTok or an article out of context, or something you saw on your phone as a bored rich dude with too much time on his hands and an entourage that only hangs around because you pay them to?
Listen, not to what she's saying, but listen.
No, yeah, don't hear the words. Just look at her face.
To how they interrupt and the words they use.
Released in the months leading up to the November 2016
Wait,
election
ignore
concluded
this.
that Russia had neither the intent
Ignore
nor
this.
capability to impact the
Doesn't
outcome
matter.
of the U.S. election.
Doesn't matter.
On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt
Tulsi Gabbard's been pumping this shit out for days. Yeah, they've heard it before. It's fucking boring. This the idea, like they must have stolen the election because the media is controlling you. They are stopping her mid-sentence, even though she's released entire videos online that you can watch on your own. And if it intrigues your, if you could argue that if they just let it play, it would bore the fuck out of people and they'd go, I don't care about this. But if they cut it off, there's a chance that you might Streisand affect your way to finding longer videos of her talking online about the same stupid shit.
up the quite extreme allegation.
In the attempt to give these extreme allegations, how do you not understand
Why what she's saying is wrong and boring? I guess too many details. I got too many. It's an overabundance of facts, isn't it? Kind of eats into this.
that is dipping in your mind and telling you what to think before?
No, I think they're reacting to it. Like, again, multi-days. She's been doing this for a while. They didn't interrupt her the first time she said it in many ways, and nobody censored the videos that she released on her own channel about this shit. Like, it's there.
Before you even have a moment to digest the situation. That is no different than I walk in and go, this person is attempting to give these outrageous allegations.
Yeah, it is, because you're not a trusted news source and that person wasn't saying anything, and it would almost make it more likely that if you did that the person would go, I think they were making a good point, I want to see the rest of it.
If you can't stand this person or you can't stand the other news, you're already all in. If I'm a liberal, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy allegations. It's just insane. That is called brainwashing. And if you're...
Yeah, but why isn't it brainwashing if you think there's legitimacy to them? I mean, we went through all this shit. There was like 60 lawsuits. They didn't switch their opinion about the Russians interfering at all. They didn't have enough proof, and there certainly wasn't any evidence that they flipped votes in machines, but there was clearly a Russian push to manipulate the electorate through social media and fake news stories and all kinds of stuff like that, and that was worth our attention, so that's what they were writing about. That's why this will go nowhere. That's why the news is like, this shit again.
Falling for it, you're being brainwashed. Listen to the words they use to manipulate your thoughts.
Yeah, but isn't she manipulating your thoughts as well? She's the head of the DNI. She's the director of national intelligence. Sorry, so if a news person interrupts the head of the CIA and says, okay, they've been going on for a couple of days about this particular topic, we've seen it before, they're trying to shut down the CIA, and they're not allowing the CIA to give the true message to the people?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. There's a whole word, spiracy. Nobody's being accused of spiracy. Spiracy!
Dum, 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 dum. Dum.
Now he's going to think I'm manipulating you by choosing this freeze frame like an asshole and not just stopping it in the moment after he said spiracy. Maybe people would take your opinion more seriously if you pronounced entire words.
interfered in the 2016 election.
Multiple intelligence.
Listen again to the words they use. Are you ready?
Yes. Okay. So somebody clipped this and put it on Twitter or TikTok or some shit like that, and he's playing this slice of it, and it's indicative of the entire media. So you are being brainwashed. The title of this: you're being brainwashed, and nobody's talking about it. Because they're on a panel show and they played part of it, and then they go back to the panel. And the panel members, some of them maybe are more tepid about their response, and some of them are like, this is just horse shit. And that's media manipulation, according to him.
This is mind control.
And little bags of money and your little whiteboard and doing this out of your fucking basement isn't. Again, which part of this is more controlling than the other?
Right now, someone's going, you need to interrupt the program. They're not reporters. CNN is not reporters. None of these news networks are reporting.
They're nude networks? Why am I not I remember the nude news. That was on for a while, but I was always very disappointed because there was like part strip teases during it. And I was like, I'm not really learning any good information here, and this is taking far too long.
They're telling you what to think. They interrupt and listen to the words. And mark my words.
Sorry. The dude over there with the laptop can't put that on screen so the rest of us can see what that is? Or are you just supposed to point at your fucking phone to a clip from God knows where and what network and whatever? Like, you're not going to lead it in. You're not going to explain where it came from. Like, I explained what the fuck this business is. That basically this is like Roseanne under a weird Snapchat filter. And that you've been doing this show. Like, I at least give some context at all.
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence.
I think that's a pretty apt description of exactly what happened. She's attempting to back up what's being said. Okay.
Community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016.
I think that's pretty much all you need, right? I don't know. I think I'm working way too hard. Why am I stopping these things and rebutting all the details like we've gone through with Tulsi's actual videos, not second gen shit from, her on CNN or Fox or wherever the fuck it is. Why am I bothering to break this shit down? Why am I showing articles that directly contradict stuff when Trump says it or going through this when all I have to do is whatever the fuck that is?
Multiple intelligence.
And my bros will laugh.
Assessments released.
If you can't see what that just did. Now, if you label yourself as a liberal, if you label yourself as a lefty or a Democrat or whatever, you immediately just made up your mind because they told you what to think.
No, in theory, if I'm that way, I already had that opinion of Tulsi Gabbard before because she used to be a Democrat. She joined the right wing. She basically circumvented all of her morals and undermined every like moral advantage that she had by joining this pussy grabbing fuck. And now as the head of the ODNI or head of the DNI, I automatically have disdain for what she's saying because it's the intelligence community. I'm not going to take it at face value. I don't have instant disdain for it, but I'm not going to just take the head of the CIA at his word either. Yellow cake, anyone?
They told you what to think.
She's the director of national intelligence. They rebutted what she said. You have the ability to judge by what she's saying, the details of it, and the details that the news people say on which one you agree with. Do you ever watch a show you don't agree with and just by the end of it you're fucking hypnotized?
If it wasn't Tulsi Gabbard,
by the way, yes, he does.
They're talking about Obama. They're talking about cheese. If CNN came out and they said, we just found out that this cheese years ago had a, we found all the receipts, we found all the proof to prove that this cheese tried to prove it was a hot dog. And then all of a sudden the news feed.
We have the receipts that this cheese tried to prove that it was a hot dog. I don't know. It depends. I would probably, depends on whether I wanted a hot dog or cheese, I suppose, in this imaginary childish fantasy that you're throwing together. They don't have all the receipts. They don't have proof that this cheese tried to make itself a hot dog. So even your really odd food analogy falls apart.
We interrupt this program because, they're continuing to make these allegations that are just the conspiracy that are outrageous.
Oh, he forgot which one. He forgot whether it was really a hot dog or really cheese. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, he forgot. So he couldn't get back to how dare this cheese try to impersonate a hot dog. And he couldn't find his way back to it. So just say the words they said with while casting aspersions verbally on the words that they used, and then immediately the people that are watching will fall in line going, you're right, that's outrageous, which is brainwashing, I think, according to him.
Watch how many people tomorrow are going to go, did you hear about these outrageous conspiracies? All the cockatoos are going to, because that's all you are. You think you're informed. You're just a cockatoo watching the news.
Dumb, dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb, dumb. Dopey, dippy, dumb, dumb. Stupid, really dumb. Moron!
This is rough. I mean, again...
Conspiracy! Conspiracy! Outrageous! Outrageous! Conspiracy! Conspiracy!
Watch.
Really dumb.
Also, how about all the right-wingers calling the Epstein files a hoax? What about them? What about all the Trumpers who say Russia, 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 or Russia-gate? I guess they're immune. That's just the truth, right? Sorry, that was my bad. So everybody who goes, yeah, this is an unfounded conspiracy and it will never see the inside of a courtroom because it's fucking ridiculous, and it won't and it doesn't. And there'll be no, apology or putting the toothpaste back in the tube from this dickhead next year if Obama isn't fucking perp walked, right? Because they can't, won't, and don't have the evidence to actually even, make the case that they switched the details or they had this meeting to change the narrative and frame Trump for his relationship with Vladimir Putin, which is ongoing, for the record. What kind of an asshole gives the leader of a country that we have no material interest in? This isn't even, you can go with, Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East, and we've been protecting them for a long time, and, post World War II had a part in the creation of the area or some shit like that, or even kind of dealing with the fact that so many of our goods are supplied by China. You got to tiptoe around Xi Jinping, right? Why in the fuck would anybody give Vladimir Putin a pass for sending rape squads into Bucha? I guess the same reason they pretend not to know Jeffrey Epstein after he died on their watch, even though they said in an article he likes him young.
That's how brainwashing is.
Yeah, you're explaining how you are the way you are and what you're saying. You can't even articulate what the material points of this are. You just mock people and go, and that's enough. That's the argument. Which, by the way, is tempting, and we use it all the time with Trump, to use shame as a weapon. This is less embarrassment. Most people wouldn't be embarrassed by him making fun of them, but he's trying to shame people by saying you're a cockatoo by doing this. This is shame manipulation. In media, it happens all the fucking time. You could argue that Fox News does it with patriotism all the time. You're not a patriot if you don't, support MAGA or you don't support Trump or whatever. That's how they manipulate you. This is the same thing, only dumber.
Dumb.
Right. Whoops. Why is this playing?
People go, oh, we're more intelligent. No, you're not.
Is that what they do? We're more intelligent.
No, you're not. Because you're emotionally involved. I'm not emotionally involved, and I can see how ridiculous that is. I can care.
I got to tell you, it seems like you're emotionally involved.
That's what the subject matter is.
I don't know that that's good, though. Shouldn't you care about the subject matter, especially if it's something serious? Jesus Christ, if the former president is guilty of treason and you think he was, you just kind of half-assed about that? You just chaboudou and move on?
I'm more concerned that
For us. He's concerned for you and me.
old trusted news channel is telling you already how to take the situation, how to think about it.
Aren't you doing that about like all regular media sources? Again, this is Stoner Alex Jones.
It's not their job. It never was their job. And the minute you realize that news is not here to feed your soul in a good way, in a human
Yeah, news isn't there. I don't look to feed my soul with news. It's either information or it isn't.
way, they're just here to create negative, hateful, and control your thoughts and your emotions. You're going to be able to deprogram.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to deprogram my pogrom. Is that what you're looking for? Is it like an Amish village, something? No.
Self from
I'm
the
going to deprogram myself. Sure.
higher system. And it gets easier and easier when you detach your emotions.
You're not detaching your emotions, and you're getting all your news from fucking Twitter. You're completely fucking bent over and screaming about videos that are out of context, 30-second clips because the person you don't like is doing something and you can read into it whatever you want. Maybe this is just confessions. Maybe I'm missing the point of the show, is that he's recording these for his future self when he wakes up.
Oh, that stuff drives me nuts. That stuff makes me nuts.
I thought you were emotionally not involved. I thought you were detached. I mean, you obviously, I don't know if you guys can see it. He wrote, it's a little bright. He wrote brainwash on the board.
It makes me more nuts that people don't see that.
Yeah. God, I'm not emotionally involved, but what the fuck?
How do you not see that? Like,
You mean, how do you not see that Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, that he lost the election fair and square and sent his fucking minions to attack the Capitol, and that there weren't FBI agents, maggot whispering and making them run up the stairs and attack, which is just fucking stupid. And if it were true, that would mean that they shouldn't be anywhere near the halls of power because they're dopey and easily hypnotized. You want to talk about brainwashing?
they just purposely jump in. Like, hold on a minute. Here they go again with their outrageous.
He's never going to end up on Greg Gutfeld's show acting like this.
Who, first of all, let me explain something again about any news channel, and this includes Fox.
Oh, how dare you.
Sorry.
And Newsmax and OAN and Right Side and Lindell TV. Can't forget about them.
I know some of you don't want
Are they still around? Holy shit. I literally just realized they've got to still have programming besides the Diamond and Silk minus Diamond show, right?
hear that. It's all propaganda.
What's your show? Moneybags, Brainwash, News, Mike, Prop, the plants you put in the background to liven up the set so it's not too barren.
Watching television. Stop watching tell.
Oh dear.
a vision.
Oh, I take it back. I was wrong. He's not the stoner Roseanne. He's just slightly post motorcycle accident Gary Busey. That's what this is. This is the if Gary Busey had a podcast, that's what this would be. Okay, all right.
Is that easier for you? How many of you trust everything you see on the television?
No one?
I know I have. I still have family members. If they don't see it on the TV, it doesn't exist.
Oh my God. Perhaps get them some help. They don't think that news anchor people don't have legs, do they? Or buy into the whole thing where they don't wear pants?
Where'd you get that from the internet? Yeah, I got
Of course.
from the place where and the internet can be dangerous.
Yeah, but news is dangerous.
But not as dangerous as networks.
Why?
Networks. They throw the net. Casting their net.
To try and get some work while they're working it
To grab you
and make you work.
for their nightly programs. Tonight's program, as we tell a vision.
Right, yeah, but I mean, you don't have to listen, right? You don't have to believe. I mean, I know your relatives do, sure. But you don't. I'm beginning to think he's like a character in Galaxy Quest. Like, surely you don't think Gilligan's Island is real? Those poor people.
Unto you. Think of how much of your life you trust that a TV or someone on a TV will tell you.
Over what? A book? A friend? Your real relationships and friendships? Like, who the fuck are these people that you think watch and just go, yep, everything, yep. I don't care what channel it's on, yep. Okay, his friend circle, sure.
I always like sitting with, I had family members.
Yeah, you always have family members. Yeah, you got family members and you have friends who are always the most gullible assholes in the world. And apparently, when they question what you're talking about, you pull a face and tell them that they're brainwashed.
And if you don't think for one instance, whoever runs television, every
Big TV. Mm-hmm.
single network, please don't be foolish enough to think that they don't know what they're doing.
Well, you mean as far as their capability of running a network? I mean, I think we all have differences of opinion about programming. I know that some shows used to be moved from Tuesday night to Thursday night, and I found that fucked up my whole schedule because I didn't really, I only want to watch one night of TV. The rest of the week I got shit to do, and then they move it, and you're like, okay, shovel that shit around.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Making television,
They know exactly what they're doing.
selling advertising space to keep Knight Rider on the air.
We need to get human again.
I thought we were supposed to detach emotionally.
Do. I'd like one
Emotionally, I can speak.
day where there's no such thing as any political party. Wouldn't that be fun one day?
Yes, thank you. Break into Imagine by John Lennon. That'll make it all better.
Like when you're in your home and your family is
I'm not in my family. That's gross. You do you, boo. I'm not here to yuck your yum, but
when you have your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and everyone's together. Is there a political party?
only if we're playing Risk.
Is there a left group or a right group? Is there what?
Sometimes, yeah. There's usually one, like, and I'm just talking out of my ass here, but one asshole member of the family who turns everything political and can't just have a good time and is just kind of blathering in the corner and staring at their phone and yelling out loud, watching videos on fucking TikTok like an asshole. But that's not the whole family. That's just that one fucking guy.
Remember that time when you're hanging out with your friends and you barbecue and all that? Are you voting?
No, we don't. I never vote and barbecue at the same time. My ballot kept catching fire.
Smartest person is? Are you voting on who the wisest person is?
Well, I mean, I think if your friends are fucking with each other, you're trying to figure out who's the funniest. And is that what you mean? I guess there's no ballot involved, sure.
We used to listen to older people.
Not old people, older.
System has trained us to push them aside.
I don't know. I think, is Tulsi Gabbard older than you? I think she is. I think certainly the news anchors you were talking about are older than you. Why are you disrespecting your elders?
They're getting old. They're getting yucky. Just, put them somewhere.
Now you're sounding like Melania.
What a disturbing way to treat humanity.
Yeah, I know. That's why Democrats created Social Security and why we believe in supporting people, and why insurance should cover hospice care and old folks homes and that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's why we give a shit about the stuff we give a shit about, because that would not be good. Also, by the way, who would want to destroy Social Security, for example, like Mike Lee? Or why aren't you going after that motherfucker? He wants to get rid of it so old people can just be pushed aside.
They're the ones that have all the knowledge. They're the ones that had all experience.
Right, so why am I listening to you? Piss off. He's hot for Tulsi. Is that what you guys think? Old people are easier to push over? It depends on the old people. Sometimes you got to fuck with the wrong one. I had our Sansu Grandmaster was in his mid to late 60s, and he was a Golden Gloves boxer when he was a young man. He was a hairdresser for a living, but that guy could fuck you up. He looked kind of soft and kind of little easygoing or whatever, but if he got his paws on you, man, his fucking muscles felt like mahogany. Yeah, you just try it, sonny. So anyways, that Breuer has 417,000 subscribers. That video is from a month ago and it has 124,000 views. 124,000 views for that shit. He did a video called "How God Works," about how he. The quote is, "I challenged the devil."
Some he may not know.
Hold on. There you go. He does this video about how he had this great idea and somebody stole it. I've never heard of anything like that in Hollywood. It's not like every loser asshole in an extension course during the Q&A part goes, "I had the idea for Jurassic Park and it got stolen. What should I do?" I challenged the devil and lost everything. Funny How God Works, episode 1. He didn't challenge the devil. The devil has not played a part in his life at all. Bad choices, ill-gotten friendships, being a dismissive bullshitter, that's the devil. That's the devil this asshole has to deal with in his life. He has to exorcise that devil. Because god damn. Don't promote him. He's got more subscribers than I do. So anyways, I went long, I know, but I wanted to cover that point. But that's that, and which is, by the way, ultimately, what was his message in that one? Don't be a political party. Don't fall in line. You're being brainwashed to believe you're one thing or another. All of them have started doing that, that there's no difference between the parties and all that. You hear that from a lot of Republicans right now. Why? Because of the Epstein files. Why? Because Trump sent ships down to Venezuela and he's not the peace president. Why? Because he didn't end the fucking war with one phone call. Why? Because his tariffs aren't working and inflation has not come down and it's going back up. And why jobs are not, going up, they're going down. So what's their fallback? Can they go, for all of his faults, Nick Fuentes is at least going to, we were lied to, and we knew you were being lied to. Everybody did. You just took it, whatever. But at least he's recognizing that is a Trump thing. But Breuer can't come out against Trump ever. Put all the Jesus stuff aside and the God stuff aside and the devil stuff aside. He can never go against Trump. So his only fallback is, what really are political parties? If you fucked up and you backed the wrong pony, one of the most cowardly retreats in politics is they're all the same. It would have been the same no matter who got elected. There's a group running the world, and they're not letting us get what we want. It's not that Trump's a fucking useless asshole and was Jeffrey Epstein's wingman for a quarter fucking century, and the only two friends he's ever had have been both dead pedophiles, Roy Cohn and Jeffrey Epstein. It has nothing to do with that. It's that somebody else is running this whole thing, and it just doesn't go our way, and it's rigged. Trump would do these things. He's sent by God to solve the human trafficking problem. He's sent by God to deliver the little children. And then when he hides the Epstein files and tells you you're a fucking loser and he doesn't want your help anymore if you want those files, it's not that, oh my God, he's full of shit. This is a lie. I was bamboozled. He doesn't really care. I put aside, maybe he was closer with Epstein than I thought, right? They can't go there. They're too fucking weak. Breuer is weak. That's his problem. Not just that he's stupid or dismissive or he uses like physically exaggerated motions to try and as placeholders for comedy in a way to distance himself from actually having to break down the issue at all. He just wants to blather the same shit Alex Jones has been saying and then go, and that's enough. Because it's really the only thing he can do. What's the other alternative? To admit out loud that he'd been had and that he voted for Trump and he supported Trump and he was up till now, or at least recently, an advocate for Trump. By the way, apropos of fucking nothing. Nobody came up to him, hey, Breuer, what do you think of, he actively sought out being a part of this. Just like Ted Nugent. The shut up and sing crowd or the shut up and act crowd will line up to ball gargle any celebrity that carries Trump's fucking pail for him. Right? They'll be Trump's piss boy all day long. So they can, if somebody like I do it or whatever, then obviously, we're liberal shills for the fucking Pentaverate or whatever. But ultimately, no matter what they fall back on, he can, you want to talk about brainwashing. If I found out that Biden had been on Epstein's plane 7 times, or Obama had, I'd have the same reaction as I had about Clinton. If they did anything bad, fuck them. If there's any evidence, bye. Because the ethics, the ideas, the policies and stuff that I might have liked from that person aren't predicated on that person. They're predicated on, I aligned with those ideals because I want them to help other people. Right? If Bernie Sanders had his second wife murdered or some shit like that, you wouldn't go, all right, maybe I got to rethink this whole healthcare thing for everybody. Maybe that was wrong too. You're no, maybe he just used that as sheep's wool, as a wolf. And so none of these guys can do that though. I don't think any of us would have that problem. Right? Yes. You earn somebody's trust, and if you dismantle it, it takes active dismantling. You have to show more than just somebody making a fucking stupid face. But Trump, they gave their trust to him outright. You watch, man. There's Vinny's probably the closest to it on Peanut Butter Dickhead's podcast, and he can't bring himself to do it. He said a couple times, if Trump's in there, he should go to jail. And you really mean that? Because he has to stick to that. But he won't let himself believe that it's actually true. One of the reasons why he feels he can say it is because he'll never have to pony up. Well, guess what, motherfucker? you're going to have to pony up. Because all of it will be made known. Not to quote Cat Williams, but all lies will be will hit the whatever will be seen in the daylight. And this is one of those areas. They're going to have to deal with this at some point. And I got to tell you, Breuer won't. Breuer will retreat into religion. Glenn Beck did the same fucking thing. I don't know, politics. Is it really about politics anymore? It's just about Jesus and my relationship with God. Until it isn't. Tomorrow you'll be shitting all over Democrats and drawing partisan lines all over the fucking place because you're a dough-headed fuck who's been manipulated and you can't admit it even when you catch yourself because your ego is on the line. On the other hand, we don't have that problem. And I've caught hell from my own audience sometimes when I differ from the narrative, right? But we always make up because we agree on the principle. See you guys tomorrow.
The screen glows bright with a crooked smile. We're still out.
Hit that like, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Share the show and the clips, and don't forget to leave a comment. All that stuff.